Now, it's been one of the most anticipated comebacks in pop. After 40 years, ABBA are finally back with a new studio album.
The name ABBA carries with it a timeless charm, unforgettable melodies, and an almost mythical story of both success and heartbreak. For years, fans speculated about the band's eventual breakup, until Benny Andersson finally revealed the truth. He and Annie Fried Lyngstad, lovingly known as Frida, had once been adored as the perfect couple. Yet, behind the glitter, costumes, and chart-topping records, their reality was far from the fairy tale the world imagined. In a rare interview, Benny uncovered the real reasons behind their split, and the revelations shocked fans worldwide. Was it the pressures of fame? Or was it something deeper that brought their love, and eventually the band, to an end? The story begins back in 1969. Before ABBA had even formed, Benny was already a star in Sweden, known for his work with the Hep Stars, often called Sweden's Beatles. Frida, meanwhile, was building a reputation in the folk music scene. When Benny first saw her at a music festival, he was instantly captivated by her fiery red hair and powerhouse voice. The spark between them was undeniable, and soon their paths became intertwined, both personally and professionally. Together, they weren't just musicians, they were dreamers chasing the same goal. By the mid-1970s, ABBA had exploded into a global phenomenon, and Benny and Frida's romance grew alongside their fame. While Björn and Agnetha often stood in the spotlight as the band's golden couple, Benny and Frida worked tirelessly behind the scenes. Benny's genius for melodies paired perfectly with Frida's raw, emotional vocals, helping shape the legendary ABBA sound. But as the hits kept coming, fame began to cast a shadow on their happiness. Benny, a notorious perfectionist, could spend endless hours in the studio polishing songs. Frida, by contrast, was more spontaneous, guided by passion and emotion. These very differences, once their strength, began to chip away at their bond. Outside of the music, their lifestyles clashed too. Benny preferred quiet evenings away from the spotlight, while Frida enjoyed the social world of a celebrity. Friends and colleagues noticed the growing tension, especially during ABBA's grueling world tours. The cracks were getting harder to ignore. By 1979, those cracks had widened into painful divides. Benny buried himself in studio work, while whispers spread of his growing closeness to a television worker named Mona Nurklet. In early 1981, the inevitable happened. Benny confessed to Frida that he had fallen for someone else. The admission devastated her, but she tried to remain professional for the sake of the band. After 9 years together, however, their relationship was over. That May, Benny finally sat down for an emotional interview with Sweden's Expressen newspaper. Nervously fidgeting with a pack of cigarettes, his once confident presence was replaced by exhaustion and unease. His voice trembled as he admitted the truth. Their love had ended. He tried to insist that he and Frida were still friends, but those closest to them saw the heartbreak beneath the surface. When asked about Mona, he casually referred to her as "my new woman," but the forced smile couldn't hide the pain. Frida, too, spoke publicly, though with remarkable grace. In her own interview, she admitted the breakup had been painful, but revealed she had found comfort in a new relationship with a Swedish businessman. While she no longer believed marriage was something she needed, she still believed in love. Her words reflected both strength and vulnerability, qualities that had always defined her. The end of Benny and Frida's relationship left a lasting mark on ABBA. Though they continued to perform and record for another year, something vital had changed. Songs like "The Winner Takes It All" and "When All Is Said and Done" carried an authenticity that only heartbreak could inspire. The band's polished pop image now carried undertones of sadness, resonating even more deeply with fans who knew the truth behind the music. But to truly understand Frida's resilience, we need to step back even further, to her earliest years. Born in 1945 in Norway, Frida entered the world under a shadow. She was a war baby, the child of a Norwegian mother and a German soldier during World War II. In a country still healing from occupation, such children were outcasts. Frida's mother, desperate to protect her daughter, eventually left Norway for Sweden, where she hoped to build a better life. For young Frida, music was more than just a hobby. It was a refuge. By the age of 11, she was already performing on teaterstue, small stages, her voice captivating audiences. Her grandmother nurtured her passion, even saving enough to buy her a record player. Those early years gave Frida the confidence to dream of something bigger. And by 16, she was touring with a jazz band, her voice gaining recognition across Sweden. EMI Records eventually signed her, setting her on a path that would one day lead to ABBA. Yet, her past would resurface in unexpected ways. In the 1970s, Frida learned that her father, long believed dead, was alive in Germany. Their reunion in 1977 was strained, filled with silences and unanswered questions. It was a painful reminder that even as a global superstar, some wounds never truly healed. After ABBA disbanded in 1982 and her marriage to Benny ended, Frida's life took another unexpected turn. In 1992, she married Prince Heinrich Rousseau-Royce of Plauen, becoming a princess and settling into a Swiss castle overlooking Lake Geneva. To the public, it seemed like a fairy tale come true. But palace life was far from the stage lights and freedom she once knew. Strict protocols, formal obligations, and a reserved royal environment often clashed with her free-spirited nature. Then, tragedy struck in 1998 when her daughter, Anne-Liselotte, was killed in a car accident at just 30 years old. The loss devastated Frida, pulling her away from the public eye and leaving her to grieve in solitude. Even her royal title could not shield her from such heartbreak. In time, she found comfort in reconnecting with Benny, proving that, despite everything, their shared history bound them together in ways no one else could understand. By the 2000s, Frida had largely stepped away from fame, appearing only occasionally at ABBA-related events. Yet, ABBA's music continued to thrive, its timeless energy bridging generations. In 2021, after nearly 4 decades, the band made an extraordinary return with their album Voyage and an innovative digital concert experience. Using groundbreaking technology, the group's digital avatars performed alongside a live band in London, selling over 1 million tickets and proving ABBA's magic was far from over. For fans, the story of Benny and Frida is more than just a tale of love lost. It's about resilience, about how fame, fortune, and personal struggles intertwine in ways that can both uplift and destroy. Behind the glitter of ABBA was a human story of passion, heartbreak, survival, and ultimately, legacy. Their songs remind us that while love may fade, the music lives forever. So, what do you think? Could anything have been done to preserve Benny and Frida's love story and ABBA's magic? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Glam Tales for more stories from behind the curtain of fame.